I think
Okay, I see it now.
okay. It's recording now.
Cool. Okay. So our presentation is on professionalism for success, and Grace, Elaine, Bobby, Casey, Hannah, Sophie, and myself are presenting it. So it's important to make your mark when you're interviewing or networking. So we're going to help you know how to dress, act, and interact for success. So whether you're speaking to a professor, interviewing for a job, or fulfilling a leadership role, we can help you look, act, and engage to present your best self. And so some of the topics we're going to include are first impressions, attire, hygiene, body language, preparation, making connections, and resources.
So the first impression is pretty important. We all know that, but did you know that the first impression is actually only a 7-second window upon first meeting someone? And then here are some tips to make a strong first impression. So you always want to be on time and smile, not a cheesy fake smile, but one that is real, that is letting the employer know that you actually want to be there. Having a firm handshake is important as well. Want to know that you mean business. Maintaining eye contact and staying engaged in the conversation, actively listening is really important. Speaking clearly and confident when talking to that employer is also really good for a strong first impression. And then sitting down when told to, not just inviting yourself down, is also important.
For any first meeting, business presentation, or job interview, it's important to dress professionally and to dress in your best business attire, regardless of the organization's dress code, in order to make a good first impression. For men, a solid color suit with a matching jacket is typically standard for business professional attire. Additionally, a suit with mismatched pants and jacket is typically not recommended. A pressed collared button down with a plain tie, typically a solid stripe or simple pattern, is recommended, with professional shoes and dark dress socks, and neat hairstyle, trim nails, and little or no cologne or aftershave. For women, business professional attire consists of solid color suit with a coordinated jacket, pressed collared button-down shirt, nude or dark colored pantyhose, and closed-toed shoes, typically flats or heels. And it's important not to wear platform or high heels for business professional. Additionally, neat professional hairstyle, manicured nails, and little or no perfume is recommended, as well as light makeup and limited jewelry. Additionally, colors for business professional attire are often more conservative than business casual, opting for colors on the grayscale, natural colors, or blues or darks. For business casual attire, it's more casual than business professional, and solid colors typically work better than bright patterns for this as well. For men, dress slacks should be neatly pressed, and they can wear sweaters, cotton long-sleeved button-down shirts, polo shirts, or knit shirts with a collar. Professional shoes and belts should still be worn, but ties are optional. For women, business casual attire consists of dress pants or skirts neatly pressed, with a sweater, cardigan, polo shirt, or knit skirts, and closed-toed shoes. And again, it's important to note that you should not wear high heels or platforms, and skirts should not be shorter than above the knee. And even though business casual is more casual than business professional, jeans are still not acceptable. Wait, I'm on hygiene. It's also important to have good physical hygiene for a first impression, typically because the brain recognizes physical, visual, and sense first. So before an interview, it's important to brush and floss your teeth, have trim and cleaned nails that are well manicured, a comb and neat hairstyle, and make sure clothes are ironed and pressed, well fitting and professional in order to give the appearance that you are prepared and put together. And additionally, choose neutral scents for deodorant, lotions, or perfumes, as strong smells can be distracting.
Another important component of professionalism is your body language in professional conversations. So I think this quote sums it up really well. It's how you looked when you said it, not what you actually said. Research shows that the total impact of a message is only about 7% verbal, 38% vocal, referring to our tone of voice used, and 55% nonverbal. So this just shows the importance of everything besides what we're saying within a conversation. Body language is an outward reflection of a person's emotional condition, and this can vary culturally, as some expressions and uses of gestures are well perceived in some cultures and might be ill perceived in other cultures. Body language also helps to create trust in professional relationships by sending nonverbal signals that match your words. So it's important to make sure that these are consistent within what you're saying and your body language in the conversation. So on the right, some important body language cues to keep in mind. It's going to be effective to find a happy medium within all of these cues. The first being eye contact. You want to maintain eye contact in the conversation without having excessive staring eye contact that lasts the entire time, as that might be uncomfortable. Also, a positive facial expression, smiling here and there, is important to show that you are engaged and positive in the conversation, as well as maintaining a strong, confident posture. However, you don't want to appear really, really stiff and rigid. The use of hand gestures can support what you're saying in the conversation and make it seem more natural. But like I mentioned, some hand gestures are well perceived amongst some cultures and poorly perceived in others. So it may be best just to maintain neutrality amongst your use of gestures. And if you know the cultural background of someone you're going to be interviewing with or having a professional conversation with, it could be useful to research gestures that are frowned upon or well perceived within that culture beforehand. Active listening, such as nodding and summarizing statements, can help the interviewer assure them that you are engaged and active in the conversation. Lastly, movements and fidgeting should be limited just to show that you are not uncomfortable if you're excessively moving, but also you don't want to be completely, entirely still the whole time. So finding a happy medium amongst all of these cues that's natural for you and appropriate for the situation is going to be the most effective way to maintain professionalism when it comes to body language.
So, thinking about what to bring to your interview, first of all, it's smart to bring copies of your resume. They say to bring anywhere between 2 to 5 copies. Obviously, it's more, it's safer to bring more rather than less. But you want to have these just to show that you're prepared and to show that you, yeah. The next thing that you want to bring are questions. It's good to ask questions. It shows your interest in the position. It shows that you are engaged in the interview. And that goes along with the pen and paper. This is for your benefit, for future reference. You can write down things you liked, things you didn't like, about the interview, about the things that you learned in the interview. Sometimes interviews can be, it could be a long day, so it's good to bring a water and snack, something like small and easy though. And then also a smile and positive attitude. You don't want to go there thinking that you don't have the job. You want to interview for, or you want to interview professionally. Okay. And then also, if to bring everything, put it all in like a bag or briefcase, just so you're not, struggling to carry everything also, because that can be kind of stressful.
So the night before, some tips for preparing for an interview. If you go to bed early and get enough sleep, somewhere between 6 to 8 hours of sleep at least. You want to set aside your clothes for the next day ahead of time and rehearse possible interview questions and answers so you're prepared when they do ask you questions, or if they ask you if you have any questions for them. Shower and keep your nighttime routine. So just make it seem like a normal evening so that you don't work up any nerves or anything before the interview. Look up time it will take to get to the interview location and leave 15 to 30 minutes early. You don't want to be late for the interview. That just gives like a bad first impression. So make sure you're there in plenty of time, so that you're giving a good example of not only your time management, but your seriousness about the interview. And find a way to relax before bedtime. Limit your electronic use. This just helps you relax and prepare for the next day.
So the STAR method is a framework to help you talk through your answers. So this is a good thing to review the night before, just when you're practicing your interview questions and answers. So starting with the S for situation, you want to set the scene and only give, necessary details of what you're going to be talking about. T is for task, and you want to describe your responsibility for that specific situation. A for action, and explain exactly what steps you took to address the situation, and then results, to share what outcomes your actions achieved.
Making connections is another very important part to being successful in the future. For a lot of undergraduates, it can seem scary or feel difficult finding the right people. Starting out by building your network during everyday activities like talking with your professors and classmates is an easy first step. Professors can offer valuable insight and advice because they have been in your shoes and experienced similar things. Also, they have taught some bright students in the past who they still may be connected with. Those former students may email the professor about job openings in their industry for potential candidates. So talking to your professors can keep your name in the back of their minds if that question arises. Other classmates might not seem like important connections now, but down the road, these people might be working in similar fields you want to be in. Getting to know the students around you is a great way to build friendships and connections that could open up job opportunities after graduation. Getting involved on campus is another great way to make friends, strengthen your resume, and build your network. Some things to get involved on campus could include societies, honor society, social sororities and fraternities, jobs, student media, club sports, and so many other things. Joining some of these extracurriculars can not only connect you with other students, but also speakers, mentors, and advisors. Going to club fair is a great way to find something you're interested in being a part of. Developing an online presence is an easy way to network without talking to people in person. Building an online presence using LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter can expand your web of networks. Making sure that these profiles will also benefit you, not hurt you, is important. The things you post might be seen by someone who is deciding whether to hire you or not. Being open to new connections is important because it could happen anywhere. You might be standing in line to get coffee and overhear some students talking about a guest lecture that could give great insight to a potential job you're looking at. Politely joining into the conversation may help you figure out when and where this is happening so you can be a part of it. Making the first move and being confident in yourself is another way to help build networks. Also, don't look at networking as if you need to get as many connections as fast as possible. This may be beneficial, but ensuring that your connections with different people are actually genuine and you're taking interest in who they are and what they do will go much farther. Finally, once you have your networks, you should work to maintain them. Networking doesn't stop after the first connection or conversation. Once you have your resume or gain a new connection on LinkedIn, it takes time maintaining connections with people. One easy way is by following up with an email talking about something personal you learned during your conversation with them. This will show that you were genuinely listening to them and they will remember you more easily. This may not pertain to all cases, but after talking with someone at a job fair, a professor, or even family friend who is in the field you were interested in going into, it will help make that connection much stronger.
So lastly, some resources at your fingertips to utilize. On campus, the Career Closet located in Baker Center gives free clothing to college students once a semester. So if you have an interview coming up, you can pick out a professional outfit, or if you have your own outfit and you're just missing shoes, you can go in and grab that and you're all set. The Career and Leadership Development Center provides mock interviews that are open to anybody. You just schedule an appointment and they'll meet you. I did mine over Teams, so they'll meet with you either in person or over Teams, and they'll discuss with you interview strategies. They'll lead you through a series of questions. You'll answer them, and then they'll discuss with you some improvements or what you did really well. And it never hurts to practice extra interviewing tips for when you do have that big career interview. They have networking workshops as well. Just gives you tips on how to network, what to look for in your environment, and helps you connect with others. And then goal setting advising, it helps you to look ahead into the future and determine what is important to you and what goals to achieve, whether that's becoming a manager or attaining some sort of leadership presidential role in a club. And then resume critique. The career and leadership development employees will help critique your resume, your personal statement, your career objectives so that it sounds as fluent as possible for your interview. There are career fairs hosted on campus as well, and those are set up through the CLDC, so just be connected with that resource to get updates on these events. And this is going to help you practice networking and conversing with employers and help you understand how to make that first impression great. And then, like Bobby said, it never hurts to get experience. So if you volunteer, if you're a member of the nutrition club, the Southeast Ohio Food Bank is a really great way to use that volunteer experience. And the farmers market also has volunteer opportunities. So just being aware of your community and finding those volunteer opportunities that are available to you.